give it to you, baby. I want to give it to you, darling. I want to give it to you, sweetheart. I want to give it to you. Don't let it me so long, girl. Come on, give me some more, huh? Look, give me some. Give me some. Give me some. Give me some, baby. You want they talking about me? I know that you want it, you want it, you want it. So, girl, let me go, 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 and come, let me start it, start it. Just hit the right spot. I want to give it to you, baby. I want to give it to you, baby. I want to give it to you, baby. I want to give it to you. I want to give it to you, baby. I want to give it to you, darling. I want to give it to you, sweetheart. I want to give it to you. I want you balance, 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 tick, 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 tick. I want you walk it up, 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 sick, sick, sick. I want you balance, 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 tick, 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 tick. I want you walk it up, 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 sick, sick, sick. I want to give it to you, baby. I want to give it to you, baby. I want to give it to you, baby. I want to give it to you. I want to give it to you, baby. I want to give it the right spot. I want to give it to you, baby. I want to give it to you, baby. I want to give it to you, baby. I want to give it to you. I want to give it to you, baby. I want to give it to you, darling. I want to give it to you, sweetheart. I want to give it to you. Don't let it be so long, girl. Come on, give me some more, huh? Look, give me some. Give me some. Give me some. Give me some, baby. You want they talking about me? It's the only way they talking about me. Huh? Now what? Now you. Hey, hey. Tick, tick, tick. I want you balance, 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 balance. Tick, 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 tick. I want you walk it up, walk it up, walk it up, walk it up, walk it up. Just rate me the best in the West when it comes to cookies like no other can taste. The herbs and the spice, me select left and Jonathan when it's dripping in cold sweat. Shana comes to spoil me, Lakeisha comes to control me. Lana hypnotize me, and I'm sleep me one tea. This girl approached me from Tonga with she basket full of her fresh comes. She want me crack it open, but the size of the comes me not too certain. So me take out me 9-inch hammer, rest the comes pan the counter, start to apply the pressure. She want me go hard, so me knock it with the hammer, the hammer, the hammer, the hammer, the hammer, the hammer. Still the comes when you break, still the comes when you break like. We put it with the hammer, the hammer, the hammer, the hammer, the hammer, the hammer. The comes when you break, the comes when you break like. We hit it with the hammer, the hammer, the hammer, the hammer, the hammer, the hammer. Still the comes when you break, the comes when you break like. The humility, we can't make it.
All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Is my mic on? I don't think my mic is on. Well, I hearing through my thing bling. I hear myself at all. What is going on here? Yeah. Let me try. I can see.
Let me help
Okay, then. Let me see if that is better.
you.
I am. Yes, much better. Thank you very much. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Fantastic Monday morning to all of you ladies. I just said that, but I wasn't hearing myself. It was probably up. I wasn't hearing myself. All of you ladies on the live, because for some reason the live seemed to be a complete lady thing. Okay, men now. Okay, all the men as well. Good day to you. I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. Those of you who are on your way into Kingstown in a minibus, in your own private vehicle, good day to you. Those of you on your way home, good day to you as well. Good morning, Monday morning. You just going from work now. You did a night shift, security officer, police officer, nurse, whatever profession you are in. You did a night shift. You're going home now to get some rest. Some of you may be going home now to get the children ready for school. Good day to you. as well. Those of you who are at home retired or you're on some vacation, but you decided to tune into Star Radio this morning so that we can keep you company. Thank you so much for that. Trust you all had a fantastic weekend like I did. I had a very sportified weekend. I was able to take in some of the VPL over the weekend on Friday and yesterday, and it was fantastic. Mind you, my team lost, but that's all right because the vibe is good. You had some very, very close matches coming right down to the end. Absolutely amazing that St. Vincent and the Grenadines can put on such a spectacle. And I got interviewed as well. Bling, I'm telling you, I was interviewed, you know. You saw that?
So your interview.
So I looking for my brethren Bling to line with me, but no Bling. No Bling, no, not before. No Bling, nowhere to before.
Well, while you were looking for me, I was here at the studio.
No, it's okay. Yeah.
Look at the studio.
Yeah. Bling is okay.
Remember when you come in?
Yeah, Bling is okay. It's okay. We hear you. I agree with you. But listen, man, you're taking some of the VPL. The VPL real good. Those of you who overseas, you know, it's on YouTube, it's on Facebook, on ITFX channel. Check it out. It's really, really good stuff. You know, so check it out. I had a really good weekend on that. So I trust everybody's good. And
but before you go there are two unbeaten teams remaining.
I don't think anybody's unbeaten now. Because yesterday the team that was, I think, Hikers got beaten by Strikers, and they were the ones that were, you know, going full blast. So I don't think there's anybody unbeaten right now.
Oh, okay.
I don't think there's anybody unbeaten right now.
I read that two teams were unbeaten.
I don't.
And one were they're leading on goal. Not him goal. What net run rate. Right. Oh yeah. These two teams. One is, I think there's a striker.
Strikers, right? Strikers right. and Strikers and
Fort Charlotte Strikers. They're on 8 points, and Rangers. There's a Rangers. They're also on 8 points.
Yes.
And inferior net rate. That's why they're in second.
Rangers is the team that is captained by Keswick Williams.
Right.
They had a very good game yesterday. Came very, very close down to the end, and it shouldn't have even gotten there. That's the team that Spiceman is playing for.
Oh,
Spiceman made a wonderful knock of 98, I think it was, over the weekend. Really good knock. Wasn't as fortunate yesterday.
That's Carlos Brathwaite.
Brathwaite is the other one, and he made a nice explosive 50 or something like that
64.
Yesterday. Yeah. He
from 24 balls.
Boss, his last over 30 runs. That was
5 sixes.
That was one of the remember the name kind of moment. Remember the name, you know.
Yeah, 5 sixes from the last over.
There was 60 something going into the last over, and he just exploded.
Wow.
On the last over. But even that match, that, you know, that was a very close match too. You know, that was a very close match. Came down much more competitive than people thought it might have been. But it was a good match. So check out the VPL. You know, I gave them big props and big ups because they're doing a really good stuff here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Now, I start with sports. And so as I start with sports, I go talk sporting facilities. You know how much money, excuse me, this government spent over the last 22 years developing sporting facilities? We were the ones that developed, that refurbished Victoria Park. Spent plenty of money on Victoria Park. Grass the field properly. I mean, do over some of the stands and so on, put good seating and so on. ULP upgraded Victoria Park. Plenty money. Now, Victoria Park could hold friendly matches, competitive matches. This government upgraded Chili Plain Field, put in change room, washroom facilities, put in a stand. Good facility. This government here. This government did put a playing field in South Rivers, one in Park Hill, Cumberland. The one in South Rivers and Cumberland, the ones in South Rivers and Cumberland, are now holding. No, it's Park Hill. Yes, in Park Hill, and the ones in Park Hill and in Cumberland are hosting competitive games. We are preparing for under-19 cricket, West Indies. Those two facilities that were put in place by the ULP, by this government, through the investment of sports, as part of our investment in sports, are now hosting competitive regional cricket matches. So if you go to Annisville now, if you go to the VPL now, you look, you see double-decker stand, the roof completely off. They're refurbishing, they're spending some money, millions of dollars to refurbish Annisville playing field. So Cumberland new, Park Hill new, South Rivers new. These are brand new. Chile upgraded, playing field, change rooms, washroom facilities, and so on, stand. Victoria Park upgraded. Annisvale is into its second upgrade because we had done some work on Annisvale, putting stand and media center and so on for World Cup. If you remember, I don't know if I remember that in 2008, Cricket World Cup. Sion Hill. So we're putting in upgrading playing fields. We're investing in sports. And to top that off, you have the Vincent Beach Stadium, Sir Vincent Beach Stadium, that is being constructed in phases. We already have the track. We've seen sporting events happen out there. We saw the inter-school sports and so forth, or rather the inter-secondary school athletic championship. We saw that. Good stuff. So we see this is not commerce. This is not gossip. We see the work, the investment being done in sports in our country in terms of playing field. Now, I talk fields and I talk Chile, which is a football field. I talk Park Hill, which is predominantly cricket. I talk Annisvale, which is cricket and football. I talk Victoria Park, which is football. I talk Cumberland, which is cricket. So far, there is a cricket football bias in my mentioning of sporting facilities. Now, once we talk Sir Vincent Beach, we're talking everything. We're talking athletics, we're talking football, and that's there. But the government's investment has gone beyond that. The pool at Shrewsbury House, investment for swimming. That's the government to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You go to Rose Hall, there's a netball court with a nicely grass playing area. By the way, I even talk Camden Park at Bling Park. The Joseph Bling Springer playing field in Camden Park. That get upgraded too. Right? That get upgraded too. So you go Rose Hall, nice playing facility, netball court and so on. The one in Clare Valley fenced recently. There's the hard court, yes.
The hard court.
Just
right.
Yes. You go to the Grand Gate area, Lowmans, brand new netball facility with stand with the little stand and change facility, washroom and so forth. You go to Green Hill, upgraded, refurbished area, hard court, refurbished nicely, a nice playing area with stand, change room, and so forth. These are things, no matter what, you can't thief credit for this, because people see. You go village in Sion Hill, you see that is upgraded and so forth, refurbished. And you could go throughout the country. So netball also is getting significant investment. Plenty playing facilities. It's one thing for members of parliament who never governed, who don't understand governance, to go into the House of Assembly and just talk off the top of their head because they don't know. It's another thing when our representatives, we know what we're doing and we know what it takes and what it costs. So big investment in sports, in sporting facilities. Now, whenever the sporting organizations want to travel, the government helps as well through the National Lotteries Authority, so forth, helping to finance some of their travel expenses. All of them. So the investment is there. And we believe that the support given through the investment in infrastructure is critical, is a critical pillar in where we're trying to take sports and taking sports forward. Having the kind of improved performances and so forth that we're seeing. The fact that, look, netball gone up 3 places, improvement. You know, we had a nice contingent that went to Carifta. We have a big contingent that just left on Saturday for the Alba Games in Venezuela. Different disciplines. So we're seeing participation, and no one can deny that a critical element in what is happening going forward, what is happening currently, and what we're looking towards doing has to do with our investment in infrastructure. Now, was it last Carnival Bling, after a big show at Arnesville Netball Stadium, Netball Complex, you saw the rails of the complex, all the guardrails pulled down? Was it last year? Yeah, it had to be last year because we did it on the Carnival the year before. Right. We have seen time and again where events taking place on a number of these facilities end up in vandalism. Seems that people are unable to enjoy themselves in a dignified manner. And dignified don't necessarily mean you must rent a tile, but no karate. And they're fighting and so forth. And when my partner, my partner, when he say go so and go so and go so, people go in. And sometimes the impact of those things is the destruction of facilities. We can't invest $4 million on Arnesville and then say, hey, go trample it down and pull down the guardrails. So the government says, as articulated by the Prime Minister, that FETs would no longer be allowed at hard courts and school facilities. Oh my God, Jesus Christ, mother work, what? Listen, the NDP, like its usual opportunistic self, jump out to pander. The NDP says that the move by the government to protect the physical integrity of our playing fields across this country is an attack on communities. Now, I grew up in Leeward. I know what they used to have in Leeward. They used to have Blacko. I guess that's short for Blackorama. You put some speakers in the road, in the block, in Mission Corner, or by the park. You play your music, people come out, they enjoy themselves, you shop from the vendors. Well, promoters decide they want to make money. And so they want to put these events now in enclosed spaces where they could pick up a gate fee. And so, for them, the best space is the hard court. What the government just fence. What the government just do. Best space for them. But that was not what they were built for. Then we expand the discussion because the NDB's position is countering the government's announcement with regards to playing facilities, sporting facilities, and schools. Now, when I was growing up, school used to have the little fair. St. Martin's used to have its fair. Bishops used to have its fair. School fair, the school organized that thing and so on. And they managed that. You know, primary schools in, Chile, Georgetown, there's a nice boxing day fair. But that's the school's event. That's the school's event, eh? But I guess some promoters figure that they want to have events on the school compound too. So here's what I was informed of. Apparently, a promoter wanted to have a powder fete on National Heroes Day. Now, if you know what a powder fete is, Bling, you know what powder fete be? Explain to me what powder fete be. A powder fete is a fete with what? Plenty powder. What kind of powder? Baby powder? No, talk, no, man. Let it. I want to talk. You're going with some Johnson baby powder. Powder escape with some baby powder.
You know, these powder are colored powder. You have different colors in them, and then these powders you would use them when you go in. They give you a pouch.
Mm-hmm.
You use them on your skin, but what happens is that whenever they fall on the ground
mm-hmm.
and the fete is over, if you don't take the time out to clean the surface, that powder would stay there.
So if you have that in an open place, that's fine.
Yeah.
Definitely. If you have that pan adult ground, that's fine.
Definitely.
If you have it, because I want the listeners listen to me now. I want to hear me. Because this promoter thought it wise to use a school on Heroes Day to have his powder fete. So he applied to use a school. And it appears that initially permission was granted. Somebody probably wasn't thinking. Somebody wasn't thinking. Because remember, National Heroes Day was a Tuesday, I believe, which is a holiday, March 14th. But the very next day there was school. So imagine you having your powder fete, and as Bling just described, you have all the color powder, and the powder there on the ground in the schoolyard, and powder up the school and so forth. On the night of the 14th, what is happening on the morning of the 15th when the students show up? Explain that to me, please. Explain to me how many days of school has to be closed so that the school could be cleaned so that students could come back into school. Because I know when fete done 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning, nobody ain't going to come there with power washers and power hose to power wash and power hose the schoolyard and the side of the school. So I guess after reflecting, they said, no, but that can't happen. So and that was a big thing. So the overall thing is, you know what? No fete, no powder fete, no color fete, no wet fete, no dry fete, no fete in the school premises. I mean, common sense tells you, once the fete go on and man put 2 rum in the head, 2 rum chip him, things start to happen, louvers break out, people cock up the foot on the school, all kind of thing happening, damage. Fence pulled down, gate pulled down, damage. So the policy is, you know what? Let's protect the physical structures or education institutions. Because we know the struggle we had. We know the struggle we had to get proper educational facilities in this country with modern labs and air conditioning and so forth. We know the struggle we had. We know the limited spaces we had, so we couldn't accommodate, we couldn't have universal access to secondary education because we had limited space. So every year, more than half of our students who wrote common entrance I don't know what was happening to them. Had to go back. They had to repeat. Some gone senior, some drop out, whatever. Every year, more than half. We know the situation. We know the struggle. And so this government spent hundreds of millions of dollars to improve that situation, to make sure that we have spaces in our educational institutions, places for students at our institutions of learning, not fitting, not color fitting, not wet fitting, of learning. They could learn to fit somewhere else. They could learn to put color paint on the skin somewhere else, but not in our institutions of learning. So the government is a policy. You know what? We got to end that. No. The concession is that there are some events that can be accommodated. And I sit down consort, the school have a consort and so forth. Of course. The discussion and the policy references FETs. And every Vincentian understands and knows what goes with the word FET. Excesses, excessive behavior, loss of control. We know. And so the policy is directed at FETs. The NDP has a problem with that. The NDP says you are attacking communities when you seek to protect our institutions of learning. You are attacking communities when you seek to protect our sporting facilities that we have invested in to ensure improved performance for sportsmen and for children. This is the same type of vulgar opportunism, political opportunism displayed on the issue of vaccines and displayed on the issue of cleaning up Kingston. We want to protect our country. We want to protect the lives of Vincentians and visitors. We want to protect the lives of our students, the lives of our patients. And the science at the time says one of the best ways of achieving immunity is through vaccination, to try and get frontline workers vaccinated. The NDP thought it was an opportunity to pander and plant seeds of doubt in the heads of our Vincentian brothers and sisters. Adopt a political response to a medical situation. I never see that yet. If there's a medical condition, you want a medical response. If there's a political situation, you want a political response. If there's a legal situation, you want a legal response. These guys continue to adopt political responses to every single thing. So we have a medical emergency. They adopt a political strategy, not a medical one. For years, Vincentians of all political persuasion agree we need to clean up Kingston. We need to do something about the vending. We need to regulate vending. We can't walk in tongue. This, that. For years. The government comes up with a policy through the Kingston Tongue Board, informs the vendors. This is what is going to happen, that you have so among the time and so on. We are building spaces for you to go into to take you out of the sun and take you off the street. It's not take up a thing and go home. It's not take up your bag and them and go buy a business. Take up a Georgie bundle and move. No, it's you are on the street and we are trying to regulate the vending. So what we are doing is that we are building 2 locations for you to go into, take you off the street, clean up the Kingston, bring some order and regulation to the vending. The NDP jump on that. Oh, they're attacking livelihoods. They're attacking the vendors. We stand with the vendors. Stand with them where? In the sun? On the sidewalk? You said, on with them? Dr. Friday, no, you stand with them in the sunbed sidewalk, you know. With the Louis Vuitton shades. Where that's way. opportunism. That opportunism, the type of opportunism that says, I know the proposed constitution is better than the one we have. But as a party man, and my party say vote no, so I voted no. That type of opportunism. You think the majority of intentions stand with the NDP on that position there? Let me read the position for you. This is how the NDP sees the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines move to protect the physical infrastructure of our schools, of our learning institutions, and our sporting facilities by saying we can't accommodate no more fetting, because fetting over the years have proven to be destructive and result in vandalism of our facilities. So this is how the NDP responds to it. The NDP says the government's decision to prevent the use of hard coats. Is hard coats in school? The Bible, the thing say, no fets at schools and hard coats. That's the position. The NDP says the government's decision to prevent the use of hard coats and schools. They didn't say schools in the statement, but the policy is one policy that encompasses the whole thing. Because look, here what's going on. They're trying to play smart with dotishness. You hear me? They're trying to play smart with dotishness. They're trying to play smart with dotishness. What if it's in Spring Village? And then is the hard coat? What the hard coat they bling? You know the hard coat in Spring Village? Wait, they think about it. Wait, they think about it good now.
It by the school.
The hard coat in Fitzhugh the way by the school. The hard coat in Chateau the way by Plant School. They're trying to play smart with dotishness. So they're trying to the government's decision to ban fets on hard coats. Let me read the whole thing. To prevent the use of hard coats for events is hasty and was done without consultation. Yet another attack on community events and livelihood. Community events? So the event down at the netball complex is a community event? The event, the powder fete by the school, that was a community event? Let me tell you how community events go. Let me tell you community events. Baga Fish Fest, community event in the square. The banning of fetes at the netball complex wrong in curtains by the newly refurbished schools that we had by the Central Leeward Secondary ain't affecting Baga Fish Fest one bit. That's a community event. So how does preventing a man from mashing up the hard coat stop Baga Fish Fest? Attack on community events? If you go South Rivers and them don't have Blacko, you go buy Board Disco or you go buy Africano, the community come out. When they have a cricket match by the playing field, the community come out. How is that attacking community events? When they have fete matches at the hard court with their fun day, there's a community event. How does that attack community events?
Well, I'm having a fun day at the Clare Valley School. Fun day.
A fun day.
Football, cricket.
Yeah, fun day.
Right there.
The community involved.
But the music would not be
the community involved. So the NDP opportunistically decides, no. Let me build schools for 12 million, 15 million, 18 million, 20 million, and then give promoters to mash up. We are call coming in the bling. We'll take the call this morning. They're trying to play dotish. Smart with dotishness, eh? Caller, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ian and Bling.
Good morning, Caddy.
I hear you talking about those things. So what happened? Why is it cheaper for them to put on those shows? How about like I know growing up we had in South Rivers, like you just talk about we had the hall called the Bird, and then you have this one over the patch today by my cousin who you just called the name, and then up in Georgetown you have Louis Stadium or whatever you call that. You know, and you have these kind of stadiums. Why aren't they having those shows in those stadiums? And why do you want to go to schools and hardcore to do these kind of things? It's because it's cheaper.
Absolutely. They could go to the school, play little or nothing for the school, and make the money and run. After damaging the school, you can't find them.
This is yeah, you know, I'm not sure. And then, and like you just said, everything after that, they blame the government. They blame what the government don't want to do this. You know, I'm just listening to you anyway, man. But I'm just thinking about things. You know, those stadiums and so on. I'm sure they still have some of those down in Canada. We used to go by once the hall down there and all those places. Anyway, man, preach, man. You got to make these things out.
Have a good one, buddy. Thanks a lot.
Go on.
All right, man. Have a good one. Bring out then a kind of feedback during the call there, and if there's something you could do because I think PM is supposed to be calling. PM is overseas. He's going to be calling us this morning, and I really want us to sort out that because I don't want to be getting the echo day when he calls. But they're playing smart with dotishness. Most of the community hard courts, most of them, with very few exceptions, are at schools. Most of the hard courts are at schools in the communities. So when you say protecting the school infrastructure is attacking community events, it's joke you're making. But we are called coming in. Isn't that right? Okay. Caller, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Fiona. It's Ralph.
Good morning, Prime Minister. Good morning. How are you?
Who is with you this morning?
Bling is with me this morning because our brother Denny is with the contingent at the Alba Sports.
He's at the Alba Sports.
Yes.
Yes. Well, good morning to all our listeners. I'm in Trinidad. In about 3/4 of an hour, the symposium on crime kicks off.
Okay.
The symposium. It's an important regional issue. The Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago wanted an aspect of the citizen security issue, crime, to be looked at as a public health issue, which it is. Well, it's a citizen security issue, it's a public health issue, but it's other things too. It's a gun issue. But this particular dimension is important to reflect upon. Of course, the whole issue of crime would be reflected upon, and serious crimes, violent crimes. And I'm hoping that we can have a better coordinated response to this phenomenon, and all of society response, and all countries response, a multilateral response, including with our friends in North America and in South America, because there is also representation from Mexico.
Okay.
You know, Mexico has been very strong on the issue of the firearms coming from the United
Yes,
States to
yes.
Latin America and the Caribbean. And, they have instituted legal action against some manufacturers of guns. They've done that in the United States. So I thought that I'll report that early this morning.
Okay.
I noticed since Tuesday, the 4th of April, when I addressed the Taiwan question, the leadership of the NDP and some of their hangers-on and fellow travelers have been working overtime to see if they can divert people's attention from a public policy which they initiated. That is to say, they will break the all-party consensus in Parliament and promise the people that if ever, by some miracle, they're elected to government, that they will move from Taiwan and establish diplomatic relations with mainland China.
Yes.
And among other things, I pointed out in Parliament that for any of the NDP who wants to do this, the agreement itself and other agreements going back way into the NDP period too is like a hook in their gill, not in the gill of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Which is what they're trying to spin.
The people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines want us to maintain relations with Taiwan. The point about it is this: how can you reasonably expect that Taiwan would organize for banks in Taiwan to give us soft loans, 20 years, 22 years, with 5 years grace, and the interest rate in practical terms oscillate between 2.55% and 2.83%? No. How do you expect to get that kind of a money? And you'll go and break relations and just walk away. So inside of the agreement, going way back, and they have approved them all the time, since from their time. And this last one, when I drew it to their attention, they went over, at least some of them, not Friday, bend over backwards, knowing how unpopular their stance is against Taiwan, to try in a mealy-mouthed way to say they support Taiwan. But that's not what their policy is. But because they get a blowback from people, they're trying to talk with a forked tongue. And the hook which is in the gill is not in the government and people of St. Vincent and Grenadines. Is the NDP and those who want Taiwan to mainland China.
Yes.
And that is their problem. No. And they have been telling so many lies. We have a disbursed public debt to Taiwan of about 100 million. But of course, we have signed agreements which, as the debt dispersed, another 477 million. And you always have dispersed debt, and that which is not yet dispersed. You see what I mean?
Yes,
so
absolutely.
To say that it is 577 out of $2 billion in debt is just wrong. Because that's not the dispersed debt. And some of the other commentators don't understand that. They don't read, they don't study, they very estimate themselves. But in a sense, that is, by the way, the central issue is that by 2025, when all of this money will be dispersed, and there may well be even more. So if you break in relations with China, with Taiwan, you have to find from mainland China all of that money one time to give
Yes,
back Taiwan.
yes.
And by the way, the agreements with the Chinese have, the mainland Chinese with other countries, they have similar provisions, you know.
Yes.
When St. Lucia had changed from Taiwan to mainland China, the issue arose. And when they changed back from China to Taiwan, the same issue arose. Grenada, when they changed from Taiwan to mainland China, you remember the problem that they had in paying Taiwan debt?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
So it's a hook in the gill of the NDP who want to change the relation. Why would you want, as a small country, to have people say that a country which is small but rich and much bigger than us, they want to say that 24 million people in Taiwan don't exist? It only exists as being part of mainland China. So what happened? When a big power decides that you can't exist anymore, America can decide that for somebody else.
Yes.
So you see the importance of standing up for certain clear principles. We support there is existing a one Chinese civilization, but it is fractured into political states, and the one in Taiwan has been existing since 1949 separately. That's a consequence of the civil war in China.
Yes.
When Mao Zedong and the Communist Party of China triumphed, and Chiang Kai-shek and the Kuomintang, the Nationalist Party, the Chinese National Party, went and set up their shop in Taiwan and controlled Taiwan. And Taiwan moved from essentially an autocracy to a full-fledged democracy, competitive democracy. And as you know, in 2000, the year 2000, the Democratic Progressive Party, the DPP, in Taiwan, won the presidential elections for the first time with Chen Shui-bian.
Yes.
Remember, he visited us in 2005.
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes.
So that's the history. And then, so that's the first thing to try. It's not a hook in the gill of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, it's a hook in the gill of the NDP.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because the people don't want, the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines overwhelmingly want to keep relations with Taiwan. Huh?
Yes.
So there we are. If anybody seriously thinks that St. Vincent and the Grenadines would line up either with imperialism or hegemony, you have another guest coming. Whether imperialism or hegemony take place in our hemisphere, in Europe, in Africa, in Asia, We have a clear and consistent position.
Yes.
Other countries don't have to agree with us, But we have a clear position. And the fact of the matter, this relationship has been very beneficial to St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Yes.
Continues to be. Look, Sian, in the United States of America, it's the St. Vincent and the Grenadines is grouped under the Caribbean broadly. And they have a division, Latin America and the Caribbean.
Yes.
And St. Vincent and the Grenadines gets very little attention. The big countries get attention. In mainland China, the same mirror image of the structure they have in the United States of America to deal with small countries with which they have difficulty. Is the same structure, but in Taiwan, St. Vincent and the Grenadines gets a very special attention. In the same way that we get very special attention from Venezuela and Cuba and Mexico and so on and so forth.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
So for all practical reasons, and the history is there with us. So they distort the nature of the debt. They distort also the comments about the hook in the gill.
Yes.
The gill
Yes.
is inside of the NDP. I say, NDP, if you think you're a big fish, there's a hook in your gill.
Yes.
If you want to change the relation, read what I said.
Yes.
But they want to distort that.
Yes. Yes.
Eh? And then Leacock is carrying the further distortion to a ridiculous level. That when our friends come to Taiwan, to St. Vincent, we hide Taiwan. The Indian president came. India doesn't have diplomatic relations with Taiwan. They have with mainland China. It would be completely inappropriate to have our guest, the president of India, having to interface with an ambassador of a country with which they don't have relations. Huh?
Yes.
The same thing if the president of Venezuela comes or the president of Cuba. Though, of course, on the ground in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, in the ordinary course of things, if we have an event, the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we'll invite the ambassadors from Cuba, Venezuela, and Taiwan, and everywhere else. And while they're there mingling, they're human beings, they will talk.
Of course.
You see what I mean?
Yes.
And in relation to us and mainland China, we stay in our crease, metaphorically speaking, to use the cricketing metaphor. And we are together in the Caribbean Development Bank. We work there. They're a non-borrowing member. We are a borrowing member. At any one time, we have had in St. Vincent and Grenadines contractors from Taiwan building structures with money either from the government of Taiwan or one of the Taiwanese banks. You will have a mainland Chinese firm, construction firm, may win a bid if it is World Bank money or Caribbean Development Bank money. Why? Because mainland China is a member of those, like we are. And we work together in those organizations with mainland China. But the problem is this, mainland China has a one China policy.
Yes.
And they say if we have to establish diplomatic relations with them, they set in the precondition and say we will have to break relations with Taiwan. And we say no. The NDP says, well, we will ditch Taiwan. They would leave the entity which has been, the country which has been faithful with us for the last 40 something years, and ditch the bone and go after the shadow. I'm using metaphors so that the people can understand very easily. So that I can't have guests come into our country and embarrass them diplomatically.
Right.
That is to show how people like Leacock them are completely unprepared for government. They don't
Completely.
understand a simple matter like that.
Completely, absolutely. That's the point.
Yeah?
That's the point. That's the point.
So they find themselves in a real sticky wicket. They don't know how to get out of it. And Friday said nothing when Bramble was trying to lie about Taiwan, about their relations with Taiwan.
Mm-hmm.
That Mitchell set up relations with Taiwan, when in fact was under the Cato administration. That they are friends of Taiwan, and they will never abandon Taiwan. But you read that Eustace and Friday said they're going to change the relations. And Friday said nothing there in Parliament on the 4th. Afterwards, he gave an interview to the Searchlight newspaper saying that he alone will speak on the issue authoritatively. And nobody else in the party can talk about it, only he. And the position remains the same. But because he's so weak and mealy about it, he goes on to say, well, you never know when we get in government, things might change. You ever see something like that?
Exactly.
Their real problem is that the NDP gets money for their campaign and for their politics from entities and companies connected with some in mainland China. Notice I'm not saying that mainland China gives them money, you know. I'm saying the companies. And they're connected to selling of citizenship. You see what it comes back down to, you know?
Yes.
Follow the money, you know. Yeah?
Yes.
So they're getting that money. But they're getting money for an unpopular policy. Both the citizenship by investment and the break to go with mainland China. So they have to try and see if they could square that circle. But they can't resolve those contradictions. They're irreconcilable. Thus the diversions and the lies and the false. But we are clear as to what we are about, in a principled manner, in the interest of the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's elementary. But their opportunism, the NDPs, knows no bounds. Could you imagine that Friday is saying that you must allow people to use the hard codes for whatever they want them to use for?
Yes.
And then look at how they tie up themselves. That we saying that so that people will come and ask us, and it's only ULP people will get the use of them. But right now, any government property which you need to use, if it's a school, a hard or a playing field, you have to ask the relevant government authority. But what I'm saying is this: the nature of the hard codes, that these hard codes are not designed for any big brand, no big pet. You understand me?
Yes.
They're not designed for those things. And they get mashed up. They get abused. The schools are not meant for those things. You know, we used to do schools for weddings. And the weddings will take place on Saturday and Sunday. And most of the time on Monday, you can't have school. And furniture get mashed up, and the place nasty, and all the rest of it. Huh? And the truth is this: if you have a concert, people can use a hard coat, but that has to be a well controlled
Absolutely.
matter. That a concert is not a fete, and you can also go and use a playing field. What happened is this: we build a beautiful hard court in Georgetown.
Yes.
We opening the hard court on the 25th of this month. There was a rudimentary hard court there. We fixed it up good. We fenced it. We put in bathroom, change room. We put seating accommodation. Beautiful. The people who are involved in netball and basketball in the area called me and tell me that somebody is circulating a flyer. Say they're going to have a fete there. I said, but there will be no fete there. Could you imagine you build a hard court and people advertising already to go and have a fete there? I said on the radio, I said, what I do know is that there is a gospel concert at the Chile playing field. I said, that's a different matter entirely. Just like you have cultural events at Victoria Park, the Rodney Small and Steel Expression and other people have events at Arnesville. But you wouldn't be able to have a wet fete at a park. Because you'll mash up the park. And you have it in a small enclosed hard court. You'll mash up the hard court. I understand there's going to be a wet fete at the Arnesville, in the northern part of Arnesville. I understand they're having one over the carnival period. That's what I was told. That's perfectly in order. Down the bottom, you wouldn't be able to have it because the schools are nearby.
Yes.
They'll go and mash up the schools. So when I speak responsibly on these things, and I'm sure people agree with me.
Of course.
I'm sure churches agree with me. I'm sure that the bulk of the people who are going to enjoy a fete say, no, those are not appropriate places. You can find other places. Huh? Some people want to go have a color fete in a school. How could that be reasonable?
How could that be reasonable?
Huh? So when you're done, you have to paint over the school.
And this is when school is happening the very next day.
The opportunism, the NDP's opportunism knows no bounds.
Absolutely.
And all they are, if they see something where they might see that some people might have agreed that, however illogical that may be,
yes,
however unreasonable that may be, they jump on it.
Yes.
But that doesn't make public policy. You have to make public policy in a sensible, rational, and reasonable way, in concert with the interests of the people of St. Vincent and Grenadines. Let them test that position in a poll, and you'll see what happens. Now, the one other matter. Yesterday morning, I received a report from Linsky Douglas. He gave me a summary report about the bathymetric study. It's now complete for the actual area where Aecon wants to, from the sandbank, that Aecon wants to take off the fill material now for the port. And the report given to me by Linsky Douglas, and Linsky is an engineer. He was a project unit of the government overseeing the port. On the vessel doing the bathymetric study, you had Linsky himself, you had from the consultant for the government, Selhorn, the port consultant, not the contractor, the port consultant. That's person employed by us independently.
Yes. The contractor is Aecon.
And yes,
right.
And also the head of maritime administration was also there. And we received the report, and that report is going to be written up. The report given to me by Linsky Douglas was a favorable report, and the details of that would become known to the public. So the scientific basis for the conclusion of the agreement with Selhorn to do the dredging, that is at hand. And once that agreement is signed, the government will be paid $20 million for the fill material. Remember, they began at $1 million, and there were responsible persons in the state administration when the number reached 10 million. Had said to me that that's not an unreasonable number, and I said no, that's insufficient. Inadequate. So we are bringing that matter hopefully successfully to a conclusion. And then of course, once we get that done, and they get the fill material. By the way, we also are going to be there monitoring to make sure that they don't go outside of the demarcated area.
Okay.
You understand me?
Yes.
So that to avoid having the problem any possible problem in relation to any erosion of any type or any attack to the river at Argyle International Airport.
Yes.
One of the amusing things is this: the fellas who oppose me on building the airport at every turn, all of a sudden think they're more concerned about the revetments at the airport than Ralph. I operate in a scientific manner, and I lend my ear to wisdom and my heart to understand it. based on the science and all the relevant factors. Linsky them with the committee which we appointed as cabinet. They will meet today, and when I return on Wednesday, I will have the written report will be on my desk, and I will have it go to cabinet on Thursday, because Wednesday I wouldn't have cabinet because many of the cabinet ministers and other state officials would be involved with the wife of the president, the first lady of Mexico.
Yes.
She's coming on a visit to the Grenadines. So that's where we are with those matters. As always, Jan.
Yes, Prime Minister.
The people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines can get clarity from their leader, and that clarity is based on the interest of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Absolutely, yes.
All the time. You see what is happening, if you notice, and I hope people see it, the importance of strong and clear leadership.
Yes.
Could you imagine in this day and age, with all the stuff with social media and everybody thinks that they're experts and everybody has freedom, and I support all that. But anytime you're doing something, you always have a few noises, a few persons with noisy voices. Very often, not any reasonable commentary, not any scientific commentary, just based on their politics, their partisan politics and their bile and all the rest of it. But if you're not strong, you'll be buffeted from pillar to post. And when I am not buffeted from pillar to post, they say that Raz not listening. I'm listening, but I'm paying attention to foolishness.
Exactly. You're hearing them.
You notice I just said, I incline my ear to wisdom and my heart to understanding. And then having studied everything, I apply my heart to wisdom. No, those propositions are not mine, you know. They're in the book of wisdom. Sorry, the book of Proverbs. Read chapters 1 to 7 in the book of Proverbs. I want them to read that. Starting from chapter 1. So I am not buffeted. I am not going as the sea billows roll. I have an anchor. You understand me?
Yes, sir.
And you have to have strength to have the anchor. And the strength comes from not me, you know, from somewhere else. Huh?
Yes.
But if you're just opportunistic and you have your own personal agendas, or you want to see if you could get at Ralph, personally or politically, you will say anything, you'll want to do almost anything. So there it is.
PM, I was
weak leadership as you have within the NDP. There will be total chaos.
yes.
Look around the world. Is your weak leaders causing a mess in many places? But I also listen. And when I go about, I listen to ordinary people, men and women, stuff with common sense. They ask questions, they get answers, and they help you with your conclusion. You're going to ask me something.
Yes. Now I noticed the NDP's comment, and I'm really happy that you commented on this, because I was talking about it a little earlier, saying that the government's restriction of the use of the hard coats and the schools is an attack on community events, and I'm really happy that you commented on the fact that communities can have their concerts and so forth, and the school can have their controlled events. But PM, that is the same level of, like you said, opportunism that you saw expressed with Leacock and the Constitution, with the airport when President Shen was visiting, with vaccines, with the cleanup of Kingstown. Anytime at all, like you mentioned, there's a dissent. They jump on it thinking that they could capture something.
Remember they protested against Bukament?
Yes.
Being a site for a hotel?
Said blood would run.
Huh? Remember they tell you it's a floodplain? You remember that?
Yes.
They opposed the Rabaka Bridge. They opposed modern medical at Georgetown.
Yes.
Is everything they oppose it?
Yes.
They oppose us building the houses over at Lomond. Remember Cummins said that he's a representative for West Kingston.
Yes.
And nothing
building
without his permission.
Yes.
And somebody asked me, remember, I just reached my teeth. I said, man, ask me a sensible question now. I said, Cummins is government. I said, when I done build the houses over in Lomond, rather than building a high-rise building, which is what Cummins wanted me to do, a high-rise building down in Bottomtown, he didn't even know that most of the people who are living on the beach were not from Bottomtown. You hear me?
Yes.
And people line up for the houses. Now, if all your property, all of them together down there was worth under $300,000, and I build for you 49 houses for $4.8 million, and give you the keys to 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and 3 bedroom house, what you'll say? Huh?
Yes.
And then they turn around and say, yes, it's a good development to do that, Lomond. And then said, take the opportunism. For several months, you must pay people water bill and light bill. You notice the folly? Of course, people get assistance. But you can't go about paying light bill and water bill willy-nilly. If somebody runs into difficulties, a single parent or somebody, you understand what I mean?
Yes.
National mobilization there to help upon the proper assessment and hold your hand for a little while.
Right.
Good proper safety net, properly directed. That's how we do our work. And when they say that I mustn't do this, I mustn't do that, And they think that that would have any effect on me. I explained to you how I function. I listen. I lend my ear to wisdom and my heart to understanding.
Yeah.
And that requires strong leadership.
Yes. Yeah.
You make your decisions. And government can't be a continuing university seminar.
Absolutely.
You have to assess matters, make the decisions in the interest of the people.
But those are the two distortions.
I believe you.
One more thing, PM, because those are the two distortions that you mentioned. One of it that you're not listening because they're talking about no consultation. And of course, the first one that you mentioned, because somebody actually came at me over the weekend with that statement about leaving something in the gill of the NDP of the country. I said, Prime Minister Gonsalves never said that, and you need to be careful with your NDP talking points when you come in with me. He never said that. He talked about the situation.
I will tell you this. You take one. I saw one online newspaper which said that you can't use the schools, you can't use the hard codes for these feds. And these kinds of particular types of activities. And the person put also that I said plain field. I had to call him and tell him I did not say that. As I specifically said that I know about a gospel concert which is taking place at the Chile playing field. And that is a different matter altogether. I said, read what I said. All right?
Yes.
Anyway, I had to go.
All right, Prime Minister. Have a good one.
God bless you.
Yes. Thank you so much. That was the voice of Prime Minister Dr. John Ralph Gonsalves, currently in Trinidad and Tobago, attending a conference. We're going to take a quick break because we haven't taken one all morning. And when we come back, we wrap up the program.
I remember when I have no food to eat, and the hunger it's I cry, Father, God help me.
Children are in need of foster homes. Will you be the difference for one child? You don't need to be rich.
Father, God help me.
You don't need to have a big house. You don't have to be perfect to be a foster parent.
We never used to stop me.
All you need is to open your heart and your home to a foster child. Won't you become a foster parent today? For more information on becoming a foster parent, please contact the Child Development Division within the Ministry of National Mobilization at telephone number 784-456-2949. A child in need is waiting.
More reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
$560,000. That's the Super 6 jackpot. From midday, Tuesday, April 18th, it's $560,000.
More jackpot money. More reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger
benefits to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It creates growth and a boost in economic activities, infrastructure development, job creation, entrepreneurship, and is a source of foreign exchange earnings. Supermarkets and vendors, bars, restaurants, taxis, tour guides, hotels, service providers, and many more all benefit directly from income gained through the tourism industry. Taxes collected from yachties and cruise ship passengers help St. Vincent's economy and its growth. Tourism is everyone's business. Live it, love it, embrace it.
Tourism is everyone's business. Live it,
Located at Mackey's Hill with a picturesque and panoramic view of Kingstown and surrounding areas is Murray Heights Hotel. Offering 29 fully air-conditioned rooms with cable TV, mini fridge, hot and cold shower, and telephone. At Murray Heights, we provide a varied menu from local to international cuisine. For reservations, call us at 451-2299. We also provide a professional catering service for all events. Available is our conference room with wireless internet to facilitate seminars and workshops. At Murray's Heights, there's spacious parking. Our rates are unbelievable with discounted offers for groups. Murray Heights Hotel, your home away from home.
As beautiful as they are, durable and strong, tested and proven to perform and protect. The Impact Aluminum Heavy-Duty Window at Kendra's Aluminum Products brings quality, craftsmanship, contemporary styling, and a modern look to any home. This industry-leading design features sleek hardware and easy operation with safety locking systems on both panels. A window far more than functional and engineered to be both durable and elegant. From traditional to contemporary, our hardware comes in a variety of architectural styles and finishes to meet your aesthetic needs and design goals to ensure that you find the right fit. Visit our showroom today and ask about the Impact Aluminum Heavy-Duty Window. Kendra's Aluminum Products exports to all islands in the Caribbean region. Call our export team today for assistance. Kendra's Aluminum Products Limited, a tradition of
With a
excellence.
picturesque and panoramic view of Kingstown and surrounding areas is Murray Heights Hotel. Offering 29 fully air-conditioned rooms with cable TV, mini fridge, hot and cold shower, and telephone. At Murray Heights, we provide a varied menu from local to international cuisine. For reservations, call us at 451-2299. We also provide a professional catering service for all events. Available is our conference room with wireless internet to facilitate seminars and workshops. At Murray's Heights, there's spacious parking. Our rates are unbelievable with discounted offers for groups. Murray Heights Hotel, your home away from home.
Complete with roads and underground infrastructure for electricity, telephone, and television services, beautiful developed residential lots are available for sale on Beckway through the National Properties Limited. Some 170 lots ranging in size from 14,000 to 30,000 square feet for residential purposes at Spring, Crown Point, and Friendship. Most recent residential development at Spring with breathtaking views of Baliso, Bataway, and Mystique. Price starts at US $650 per square foot. Sites suitable for tourism projects also available at St. Hilaire and Park. Contact National Properties Limited at 451-2094. That's 451-2094. Or visit their website at www.svgnpl.com.
Out with the old.
All right. Thank you very much. Bling out to the old. Well, hey, what? Let me thank Prime Minister Gonzalez for that intervention this morning. Very timely intervention. And, you know, boy, I guess when you work with people long enough, he does know. Because this morning, you notice the line I took discussing the issues this morning. And Prime Minister came and took the same line. And I could swear to you, there was no interaction whatsoever between the PM and I for the weekend. But it's important that he bring that type of clarity, because there is somebody came to me. I'm telling you, somebody came to me on the weekend. I'm in my house, sit down on the weekend. It was on Saturday, and I get a text message about PM bragging how he left Gill left Hook in the Gill of SVG. I said, well, I say, like somebody I've known since school, by the way. Yeah? I said, listen, stop with the NDP talking points, boss man. I said, he never said that. And so I had to now clarify and make reference that what he was talking about in the Gill of the NDP is that when they switch, the benefits that they would be expecting may not be there, because the first thing they have to do is negotiate to get all this money paid off one time. And that is a big Gill for them, a big hook in their Gill. You understand? Yeah, they're talking. But it's interesting that Dr. Friday and the NDP thinks that the government should let FET promoters mash up school and mash up courts, hard courts. Mash up school and mash up hard courts. He says they rather, clearly, based on their statement, that the promoters attack the physical integrity of our hard courts in our schools than the government intervening to protecting them. So the same NDP that had more than half of the children can't go into secondary school, and the same NDP that had a poor track record in education is the same NDP that's saying, look, in today's world, even after you spend hundreds of millions on school facilities, it's okay to allow FETs, promoters, to mash up with school and them, deny the children education because they ain't care nothing about you. They ain't care a thing about poor people pick me. They ain't care a thing about poor people pick me. Now, mind you, it's the same NDP I could tell you, and the same who does get vexed and so on. If something happens at a school that mash up, it's the same ones going to come on radio the Monday morning after the event and bash the government for allowing the event to take place. The same ones. But that is what vulgar political opportunism looks like. We have one final call. I said, because I said going to wrap the call thing and so on and thing, I will take it. Call, good morning.
Yes, and good morning. I hear referring to the black coat. I hear the same NDP who mash up community black because you see the steel band, you see another community activities. What they used to do, have big black coat on Sundays and things. And the people in and the organize the black coat control the bars. Another community people could sell the shark and the sweet and the different thing around, right? And they ban the thing and thing. To this Sunday, nobody must have no Sunday, everybody must go church. I mind if they say black will need a church. So the problem I have, the people who actually supposed to help uplift the country, they don't have farmer administration left. Whatever negative aspect, you purify it and build. They tearing down and they telling you to start to tear down even before we get in office. And that is why the people who concerned about producing wealth for St. Vincent will never see any the party they get in power with them kind of people. I have to talk as a poet. I'm talking about at the dynamic. Another 20-something years, another 15 years. And the people get positive. But not in this generation timing. Because they're on the same road with destruction. That is why all the country seat on them who does go food to bring representation, opposing them. It's time for we people wake up. Our people in town, open my eye, listen what they say. Stop development. The party is getting power.
Exactly.
I am president first. We can't eat party. Okay, my brother.
Exactly. The same party that's saying cap development. Put a cap on the amount of money that we get for development. It's the same party that's saying use your schools for FET. Could you imagine that? Use your schools for FET. That's the position of a mass political party in today's age. Use your schools for FET. Allow promoters to have your schools for FET. And I'm telling you, it's schools. Because while some communities have hard courts, independent, many other communities, their hard courts are at the school. Their netball courts are at the school. Many, many communities. And you could name them. As I say, if you choose. You go Chomoka, you go Chateaubelair School. Chomoka Primary School. I'm sorry, secondary school. The netball court in the middle of school. You come up. Spring Village, same thing. There's one at Cumberland, down by the power plant, but mostly netball played by the school. A lot of these schools is where you'd find the hard courts. A lot of these schools is where you find the hard courts. So, and because of that, it provides security and you know, a type of order for them to allow the people to get in and so they can pick up the money because in the schoolyard. So they ain't got to worry. They ain't got to worry. Let me take one more, last one. Caller, good morning.
Mr. Marshall?
Yes, sir.
Man, you're blazing, man, you're going good. Anytime staff and they're going to read that man in school, to make Vincent Chan feel good. Listen to me, when I talk about Rosebank hard court. You mentioned about Rosebank.
Well, I was talking about mainly those that have the schools next to them.
Oh, okay. Man, here, man, let me tell you something. Marshall, let me tell you something. The NDP have to be a sinner. Because one thing I always say, and that's why I say, I have to play that Kizel. When they had the celebration, she make a proper presentation. We talk about NDP as a soap. I want to hear all my that and Star FM. I want to hear that and put it on Shake Up. The proper presentation. Because individual, I always say they don't love the country. Because from the same people come from PVP to NDP. They never love this country. So they all like mash up thing and break down thing. They're going to, when Lynch dead, they're going to try to mash up church sitting at and do all kind of thing. So they do love the country. They build a court, they build a cooking place, yes. They also $5 for going, no, there's a custom to that. They didn't custom to that. Because NDP had the country backward. You know, educate people. And the education, that goes important role in a country. Once they educate a person, they'll get a sense. But NDP had the country backward. Children go to school and come out half the school and you know, keep the children, keep on telling the young people. They don't telling the children the truth, they're hiding the truth from them. So that would be behaving like that. Continue, man, continue the program, man. When Shake Up and man school down the radio, I feel happy with all the good people, inviting people and telling them what happened in the past. Continue, man. God bless you.
Have a good one.
God bless you, Mr. Green. Take care, man.
We will continue this tomorrow because we're not coming off of the case. They're running, they're scampering, but we're not coming off of the case because they're playing smart with dotishness. They're playing smart with dotishness. You are really a mass political party that wants to govern this country is saying leave the schools, that people have faith in the schools? Eh? Where is the Richland Park hard court? I want anybody tell me where they. When you want to have netball in Richland Park at the Richland Park hard court, where is that? Yeah, no. Yeah, no. You want me to tell you? Check it out. A lot of these community events that occur ain't a big fit. They must promote events. Community events that the schools would have, the little school concert and so on, well-controlled events. The promoter events that mashing up the netball complex out of Arnisvale and so forth. By promoters who are tardy, who do not clean the courts and so on, the facilities properly. As a matter of fact, police can't even find some of them to pay. Listen, let me get this started. This Manikai program supposed to do. Thank you very much, Miss. I said the name Benson Jasper. It is schoolyard, he say. The way they schoolyard. So they're trying to play smart by saying, the government's position to not use the courts is hasty and an attack on events. You mean the schools? But anyhow, let me say good morning, because God's willing, once I have life and health and strength, I'll be back here tomorrow morning and we continue discussion. I'm blank for the week, well, for 2 weeks, because Denny Day in Halba. Then he did Halba games. We can't go Halba in the bling. We can't go Halba. We go VPL. It's all right. We go VPL. You know. By the way, my team in Italy is now in third place, properly formally entrenched in third place. You know.
Which team is that?
Which team is that? Is in Italy?
I know your team is Chelsea.
I said in Italy.
But because
I said in Italy.
Hold on, man. By the way, in third place, your team.
Let me in the program.
Mourinho's team is in third place.
Let me in the program, right?
Mourinho's team is in third place.
I stop watching EPL until next season. I don't think watching Champions League until next season. I don't Champions League and EPL until next season. I am watching Italian Serie A for the rest of the season until September. I done with them day.
And you're done with?
Yeah, done with them. Anyhow. Yes, until tomorrow morning, God's willing, we'll be back with you with another program. Thank you so much for sticking around with us. Let me apologize for Giselle coming in and apologize for Giselle for taking up half an hour of your time. But you know it is sometimes. Until tomorrow morning, God's willing, have yourself a fantastic Monday.
The diplomat.